I've studied your political history. You have loved one party. But I want to tell you today that you should not love a party. You should love your country and love your people. Yes. My advice to you is that your dependency has just been based on the color of some kind of party. But it has never been based on care for people. The reason why I'm in this hospital is because I want you to know that I'm part of you and you are part of me. I did not come here so you can vote for me. I came here because I want you to know that I'm one of you and you're one of mine. As long as you're Ghanaian, I'm Ghanaian, we are Ghanaians. And I would urge all of you not to base colors and parties to determine the future of this country. That the Volta region of Ghana is one of the strongest regions and the most wealthiest regions in the country. And it has beautiful locations and environments. And it has beautiful people with beautiful regions. But what has come out of it? Well, let's get our minds right. Let's not base the development. People tell me that come and save us. No, I'm not the savior. We are saving ourselves together. But we just need to make our minds right. We have to look at our mothers and what they're going through. We have to look at our fathers and what they're going through. If they have failed, how can we rely on them? Their hope is us. We have to make it right for them. If they were wrong, we have to correct it. So I'm urging all the people in Volta, this is hohoe and I know very well where I'm standing, that don't vote by parties anymore. Vote with your heart, vote with your mind, vote with your spirit, and vote with your soul.
Thank you for your powerful.
I feel honored and privileged, especially when people are having a great expectation in meeting you. It tells me that there must be something I'm doing right that I might not know, but you've made me aware. Thank you very much. I am here because I had to stop here as one of the main constituencies. Thank you. In the voter space, we are doing a 276 constituency tour. And I know in the political industry, nothing like this has happened. But we decided to do that. We decided to do that because if you want to govern a nation, then you should know the nation. And you should know the country. I think so. And that's just from my opinion. So this is something that my team, myself, the new force, we've been very keen about to do. And it hasn't been easy going around Ghana. Before we get here, we had to go through, cross the water to Dambai. And we drove from Dambai to a lot of places before we got here. Yes, we went through Jessica as well. The OT region basically in the districts. And before that, we were coming also from the north. We went to Upper East and Upper West, and then came down to Savannah and drove. So there's been time I drove for 19 hours. It's the longest time I've been in any machine. Not even plane, but in the car. Drove for so long. We had to stop here first in the Volta region. I like the history here, hohoe. But looking at the navigation, this is supposed to be our next stop, and as we're here, we're going to visit 10 different places, which is the electoral areas within this constituency, to meet all the people. So we're going from education, health, unemployed families, at the same time doing a research to see the land itself, the environment, the people, what they're going through, the policies that we came up with the 12 pillars. Our first pillar is the 16th regional industrial revolution, meaning that we would industrialize every region to activate the regions that is unactivated. Because there's only one region that is fully activated, and that's Accra. which I think for a country is not fair to build a country and then the concentration is on one side. You know, you're looking for minister of anything, you come to Accra. You want to travel to England, you come to Accra. Everything you want to do, you have to come through to Accra. If you're in Kumasi, you come to Accra. If you're in Takari, you come to Accra. I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think it's not fair in national governance. So we want to build all the 16 regions. And we have done a thorough research about your attributable reserves and your arable lands. And that tells us what every region is worth. In fact, the results tells us that Western region is by far the richest. But not only the richest region in Ghana, probably the richest in the whole of Africa. And Volta region is fifth on the list. I mean, you have $182 billion of attributable reserves. I'm not talking about proven reserves. Attributable. It's sitting there, no one is touching it. It's there. And we want to bring all the plants. This is processing plants, you know, health equipment to expand things, and then use the water as water transportation to connect at least 6 to 8 of the regions. That is the Volta Lake. It's the biggest man-made lake in the world. I think people should be queuing in the world to come and see it. What's happening here? No one is even using the water. Yes, apart from gas and cement that transports their stones with it. It's not for leisure. Nothing. And inside the water, you have billions of dollars of oil, offshore oil sitting in the basin. And everybody is talking about no jobs. See, the painful thing is, we're going to educate all these young people. You're going to do their masters, or you're going to do their national service. When they finish, then they sit down and say no jobs. Yes, of course there will be no jobs. Because if you have all of these things sitting down, and you don't have the machines to operate them, they'll be sitting. And somebody will bring machines from outside and take them. That's what is happening in Ghana right now. We have the gold, but somebody brings a machine and come and break our rocks and take the gold from the veins in the rocks. Whereas somebody is going and putting poison in water and causing man to find grams of gold, but destroying all the water that feeds the ground. Because our leaders have refused to do industrialization. So we are going around Ghana, spreading the message, learning from the people, and the people are also learning from us, and we're connecting with them. And also letting them know that their rights of democracy is not based on what their mothers or fathers will force them to do. Their right is to vote for whatever generational leadership that they think can relate to them more, that they see a future with, that they have hope with. So we can change the political narrative of this country into leadership. Because the political narrative is a consensus that is based on partisans. Everything is about a party. Yes, the two of you might not have this job because you are with this party and you are with this party. So I'll take this one now because this party is on power. We can't live like this. We can't. But that's my message. I know that I might be very young, but time is everything. I don't see myself as a young person. I see myself as I have time. To become 70, I will have 30 years to do what the 70-year-old person cannot do, but has been given the authority to do because he's old and he's weak and he can't do it. So that's what I see myself as. But other people think I'm young. I don't see myself as a young person. I see myself that I'm old already. In 10 years, you cannot add me to the youth again. You will add me to the old people. So I'm old. Now, I was giving an example today that if you're 18 years old and you want to be a footballer, you have a dream you can fulfill. When you turn 27, stop thinking about being a footballer, think about being a coach. The time is gone. Now, if you're 27 and you're already old in the football field industry, what is that telling us today? 27-year-old man who is about to get married and have family, he's too old to play football. That generates millions. So that should tell us that if we don't give the chance to the young people of our nation to become a part of our national governance, then the future of our country will be doomed by people who are outlived their future already, that we're expecting them to build our future. This message needs to be conveyed to people. I don't know who's doing it apart from and manifest into your soul than have a written paper that is copy and paste from some political party called Labour or something from somewhere in the world, and it's full of promises but it never become a reality. It's a program. Let's face the reality. Ghana needs that change. And the reason why Volta is a deep part of my heart is because in my vision, Volta can connect the north and the south. And you can lead water transportation to Bono and even Ashanti. We can connect it to River Pratt and all the things. You've already seen it. Ada is going into the sea. That water is there already, and people are building around it, and it's become a leisure space. That same water can become an industrial space. That same water can be transporting containers of processed cocoa, processed plantain, processed yam, processed of many things. It can come and connect to this water in Dambai that is brought here. We have the waters to connect ourselves and to start industrializing ourselves. What are these leaders doing? And they keep educating the people, educating. Yes, I like education, but please, education without a plan is going to come up to nothing with the degrees after. I've seen it myself. I go to nursing schools. There's so many girls there. They educate them for 20 years only for some smart person in England to come and pick all of them. So we, the investors that we invest in our children to become doctors and to become nurses and to become whatever, somebody is there waiting for us to put our investment in, comes and grab the people. They are importing talents from our country and we are importing products from their country. And the product has come from the raw materials that we produce. Hey, come on, think about this one. This is craziness. 2024, we have to change what we're... Politics should be changed. I will repeat myself again. They're importing talents from us. Our own talent goes out there. And then they extract raw materials from us. Use our own talents to refine it, to process it. Then you go and import the finished product into your country and pay taxes and sell it times 10 to your people. This is human torture. You have the cocoa, you have the cotton. You don't know what cotton does, but you always buy shirt. So the process of it being textile, yard, textile, cotton, yard, textile, and material before it becomes pattern and a shirt. You missed all that 7 teachings. You just know how to buy, consume the shirt. In the next 100 years, if we don't change our leadership to the modern minds, we're going to be slaves. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to be discussing this in such a conference room where, you know, we're teaching everybody about health. It's very good, but we need a general knowledge as well. Because without it, your health is still at risk. You need to understand that without the right equipment in place, you know, you can't be cured the right way. In fact, the very, very successful people in this country, when they're sick, you tell them to come to a local hospital. They're not coming. They buy ticket to go outside. It's not like we don't have the people, we have them. But there's no industrial support. If you see one hospital that Eurocare, There is a machine in Eurocare and they told me the whole of Ghana, this is the only place and it belongs to Indians. So the whole country, 33 million people, this is only one hospital, Eurocare, with a particular machine with, come on. And then somebody puts billboards on the road for 2 years, showing his face everywhere in every corner, that vote for me. And that's who you vote for. But I came to Volta to tell Voltarians that I know that in the past 40 years, you have been stuck with one party. You should not stick with the party. Stick with the nation. Stick with the country. Stick with the people, what they need. It's more important and not what the politicians need. They're only here for 4 years. A 4-year job does not guarantee us anything. 4 years does not even guarantee some of us a home that we're going to build ourselves, let alone to build a whole country for us. But all of this campaign is based on just somebody coming to power for 4 years or 8 years. And that whole 40 years, 5 times of 8 years, we haven't seen any change when we're going backwards. The minute I entered Oti Dambai, I saw a party with people carrying buses and bringing humans to one place and putting tents and this is a whole conspiracy, eh? It's a big thing. That's what I saw first. And then I went to the market. I saw thousands of people selling. But there was not one shed. They're selling right under the sun. And in front of me, it's a whole water. Then I looked at somewhere like Europe or America, what they would do with such space. You will see at least 100 to 150 ferries, going up and down. And business is happening. You would have seen factories. You would have seen malls. Look at us. I'm turning to a sun. We're sitting in the sun. We dig the yam straight from the ground, put it right there, and the sun is beating us. It's the yam. And the qualities that have been given to you by the universe, and it has to be transcended into. It's now being invaded by outsiders. People who come from anywhere, they just go and they start mining and they start putting poison on the grounds and everything. But meanwhile, the government's interest is that go and tax the people on the ground that you've given permit to, so they can pay you every year. They've left the actual environmental protection. And I think that since you are an environmentalist, it led you into the question of pollution. Yes, pollution in Ghana is just like we talking about credit crunch in Ghana. We don't have credit crunch here. We've been crunched for 20 decades. Do you understand? We don't feel it. We just know that the economy is not good. We don't have money. We don't have jobs. But if you talk about credit crunch in Europe, it hits them. It hits them like a gunshot because they're used to a system in place. And if the system shifts a little bit, it affects their whole life. Their mortgages, their homes, everything. In our case, pollution is not a problem right now for us because just by coming from the hotel to here, I've been polluted with dust. Just from the hotel to here. So if we sit here and try to talk like white people instead of going into industrialization and finding a way to cover the dust, finding a way, the same pollution that is coming from the machine or the plant that is doing the pavement blocks, which is coming from your rubber. You're using rubber to recycle to do your pavement, will cover all your ground in a space of 5 years, that the dust will go away. So you're only polluting a section where you've created jobs, but you're solving the most sections. Africa have to go through industrial phase, whether we like it or not. We have no choice. That's what happened in America before America became America. That's what happened in China before China became China. Even Dubai. They built Dubai through Sharjah. The Sharjah Industrial Park is where they were doing glass, aluminum bond, everything. Look, I've studied this very well. They were polluting that whole land. Sharjah is 15 minutes away from Dubai. Today, look at Dubai. I think sometimes when I look at it, it's like Lego. I don't believe they're real buildings. But they've built it all. They've covered everywhere. There's no debt. There's nothing. In fact, they tried to even bring their own water and make it rain. And I think God was not happy with that, so he flooded it instead. But, they've actually done everything through industrialization. So to answer your question, I just want you to know that we should expect that we're going to go through a pollution moment if we start industrialization. But it's happening already because somebody is polluting us. In fact, our waters are polluted in a wrong way without control. But if we were if we had an industrial plant in mining this gold, there will be control with the pollution. It will not come to what it is. So we need to build the industrial part. Now there was one that you said, which we said, if I will do it, this is the feeding 120 million people.